Does anyone actually care about the Oscars anymore? I used to make videos joking about the Best Picture nominees each year, but everything about the Oscars this year is just so boring and pandering, it feels like I can't even make any good jokes about it. So this year, I am fighting back. For far too long, this establishment has turned a blind eye to true pieces of art in favor of glorified, whiny, look at me, I'm so edgy student films. I am using my voice to make a statement and tell you all which films truly deserve your attention, your love, and your consideration. All of the films I will be discussing today are films that I believe deserve at least the Best Picture nomination. The first of which is Sherlock Gnomes. I mean, come on, this thing is an amazing story of passion, love, and not being a jerk. Next on my list is Smallfoot. Finally, a film that brings more positive Bigfoot representation into the media. We also got Mortal Engines, which is in fact the fourth Hobbit movie. One of these things have got to get an Oscar eventually. And then we have our first Netflix exclusive on my list. I'm sure it's one that you've all heard of. It's called The Kissing Booth. This movie is a gripping documentary on the herpes epidemic in the American public school systems. We also have Mandy on here, which is Nick Cage matched with Edgy. So need I say more? There's this great film you've probably heard about. It's called The Golem. The Golem is a great prequel to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and was an amazing origin story for Gollum. Although I must admit that the one hot scene was a bit uncomfortable. Up next is the Nursery Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Now, this movie made my list because I like potatoes, I like pie, and I like being lit. What more is that to say? There's also Dogman, which, as we know, is the sequel to The Shaggy Dog, and that alone should be enough to love it. Ben is back. Yes, I am back. Hello there. There's also season 5 of Sherlock, which is objectively the best season, replacing Benedict Cumberbatch with Will Ferrell. Such an inspired choice. Next, we have Juliet Naked. Now, I have to admit that when I first heard the title, I was skeptical. I mean, it's a bit of a weird title for a sequel to Romeo and Juliet, but it really does examine the mature themes that the Oscars are just too afraid to talk about. There is also Tell It to the Bees, which was a gripping sequel to Nick Cage's The Wicker Man. Every Day is also on the list, for obvious reasons. You know, with it being an important section of Ned's love story and all. And Elephant Sitting was also a thrilling film. Just watching it sit there. Isabel was also quite the interesting cinematic experience. Getting to see the dark side of her mind and what all the stress of working for the mayor has done to her. No wonder she's so brutal in Smash. We also have The Seagull. Stop it now. Another film that got a huge snub was The Princess Switch. I mean, the visual CGI effects were absolutely amazing. How else were they able to have two of them in the same shot? We have Always Lived in a Castle. Well, good for you. I also must admit, Blaze was a great film. It was about time that we got a biopic for Blaze the cat from Sonic. The next masterpiece we have is Patrick, the movie about Sarah, who gets a spoiled pug given to her by her grandmother. Need I say more? The Thinning New World Order. I would say that it is probably the Fred movie of this generation. Although, obviously not as good. It didn't have John Cena. But it still didn't deserve this snub. Santa Jaws. Santa Jaws. Why isn't this up for Best Picture right frickin' now? Duck, Duck, Goose. We should have known that they would have adapted this into a movie eventually. I do believe that it has a sort of Lego movie effect though. The Oscar-nominated Short Films 2018, live action. It literally has Oscar nominated in the name. Next up, we have a movie that came out last year. You may have heard about it. It's only one of the greatest crossovers of all time. Scooby-Doo and Batman, The Brave and the Bold. There's also Selfie from Hell, which is truly a necessary pick for the Oscars. Super Lopez. I didn't even know that I needed a Ty Lopez superhero movie in my life. A Christmas Switch. Wait, whoa, hold up. There were 2 movies about girls switching roles around Christmas? Is this a new genre or something? Snake, Outta, Compton. Snake, Outta, Compton. A movie about a rap group being the only hope in a battle against a giant mutant snake. How can this not be movie of the century? Don't Get Out. The thrilling companion to Get Out. See, this one's got a white dude on the front. Kiddo the Hacker. An absolutely brilliant film. Ice the movie. Now this film is great because of the diversity it brings. It's about time we had a movie with Ice as the main protagonist. Then there's The Donkey King, an animated film so brilliant it is going to make Disney shut down. Bagman. A man named Bagman wears a paper bag mask and kills people for not recycling plastic. 11 out of 10. I cannot wait for the sequel. We also have Let Me In 2. What I love about this is how dedicated this person is to be let in, that they had to make 2 whole movies for them. Next, we have Troll, another beautiful piece of art. There was also a certain Star Wars film that came out last year, and I really believe it deserves much more credit than it got. Zoo Wars. We also got Following Phil, which was a wonderful documentary where the filmmakers just stalked Dr. Phil for a month. Great experience. A Doggone Adventure. A telepathic dog enlists a group of fun-loving kids to help him solve a mystery. Dog plus telepathy plus mystery equals Oscar. Flawless. I mean, the movie is literally flawless. Class of 2018. That's me! I was in the class of 2018. Squirrel. A movie about a squirrel cult. Which, I mean, that definitely exists. Zombie beauty pageant. Drop Dead Gorgeous. I don't even need to see this one to appreciate the mastery it possesses. There's also ZombieCon, where cosplayers get stuck in a zombie apocalypse of anime proportions. Y'all kids like anime, right? Jurassic Park, another film where the title and poster was all I needed to give this film my Oscar. Rock, Paper, Scissors was also made into a film. I had been waiting for this movie adaptation for years. Pandemonium 2. We also got Marmalade Boy, or as it is known in America, Paddington 3. Switching Places. Wait, it's just another movie about 2 girls switching. How did that get in there? B-Team. The animation on this film is so beautiful, it absolutely destroys Spider-Verse. Like, everyone should just stop trying to make animated films now because you will never make anything as good as this. Kung Fu also came out last year, and this film features a steamed bun named Bao. Now we all know where Pixar stole their idea from. But okay, we've gone through a lot of films now that were all snubbed for the Oscar Best Picture awards. However, only one film can win the Best Picture award. And so, after much consideration, I have decided that the only movie that can truly deserve this esteemed award, this award that signifies talent, hard work, and innovation, the only film that truly deserves the Oscar Best Picture award is Twisted Pair by Neil Breen, with a plot about identical twin brothers becoming hybrid AI entities and then being torn into different directions to achieve justice for humanity, and reviews such as, "This really Neil's my Breen, a true masterpiece of indie film. 2 Breens are better than 1, a work of pure Breenius. Citizen Kane meets Tommy Wiseau, ho ho ho. Breen giant, double the Breenius of his previous movies, and deeply profound." It is clear this film has had a huge impact on the world. Academy, it is time you give the Oscar to someone who truly deserves it. Someone who brought us together in these times of division. Someone who reminded us of what it means to love, what it means to feel joy in your heart. So, Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, for your consideration, Twisted Pair by Neil Breen.
Everyone has the right to love and peace. I'll be right here.
So no one really knows that the Oscars got their name, but the most popular story is that a lady who worked for the Academy thought the award looked like her Uncle Oscar. So does that mean her uncle looked like this? Uncle Oscar knew what he had to do. And do you know what you gotta do? Subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a like, and leave a comment. None of our shows may be award-winning, but hey, neither is any of Neil Breen's work, so you should still check out our other shows, like our Twitch show. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, as well as join our Discord. With that being said, I've gotta go campaign for Neil Breen's Oscar, so I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody!